Hello and welcome to another episode of the Small Town Tourist Podcast, where we experience and explore everything that makes small towns great. I'm your host, Abby, and today we are heading to the red carpet in downtown St. Cloud to hang out with the cast and crew of the Rocky Horror Show put on by Divergent Stars Theater Company. I am so excited to share this episode with you. It is a wonderful cast and crew behind this production. It is showing in St. Cloud at the red carpet October 17th, 18th, 24th, 25th, and 26th. With multiple show times. There's lots of different options to catch a production of this show. There's a lot of work that's being put into it, and I'm so excited to introduce you to some of the wonderful people behind this production. So without further ado, let's get into it. If you want tickets to the Rocky Horror Show, I have the link down in the show notes below.
So my name is Tori Rowe. I am from Long Prairie, Great Eagle area, and I am the music director for the show, which just means I teach everybody the music. I got involved with the show because I was a part of a previous show last year, Rent. So this is my second show with the company.
This is such a full circle moment for me sitting here right now. How long have we known each other? Like, I don't even know if I can count that high.
Oh, God. Seventh grade?
Seventh grade. So,
I want to say.
What, like 15-ish, 16 years, something like that?
Yeah. So how old were you in seventh grade? 12?
Like 12, 13?
Yeah. So whatever 28 minus... that
Long Prairie school system failed us both.
I want to say, like, what is that, like 16 years?
Yeah.
Give or take? Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
So I've known Tori forever and a day, and now we get to sit here and talk about you making a career out of doing music, which is something we always thought about, and we recorded so many burnt CD demos on that old HP laptop that we had.
And your little Casio.
Yes. And now you're doing the damn thing.
Yeah, no, it's so cool. And this is sort of like the maybe second or third month where all of my income has been from music, which is just crazy. And I'm really grateful because not everybody gets that opportunity and that chance. And I really love working with this company specifically. They kind of were patient with me during my first time ever doing the music directing for a show for Rent, and kind of dipped my toe in the water, and I was like, this is kind of fun. I kind of like it.
It's exciting.
And Rocky's such a cool show. It's just hilarious and irreverent and
campy and fun.
Yeah, and it doesn't take itself too seriously, and the music's super catchy. I think it's kind of underrated musically. Everybody's always talking about the Sondheim and the Andrew Lloyd Webbers of the world, and I'm like, it's great, and there's a reason it's a classic, but Rocky has some really, really catchy tunes, and so it's definitely, keeps my attention, music wise, which is really fun. So, and the cast are killing it.
That's awesome.
We're gifted with some very talented singers. So
that's amazing. Full disclosure, this soundtrack is a bop. I was at the gym this morning, and I'm like, I'm going to watch Rocky Horror. 'Tis the season. I got this interview coming up today.
Yeah.
And I'm I'm strutting on the treadmill when the songs are. And I'm like, it's just a jump to the left. And I'm going to fall off this treadmill and smack my face.
I know there's so many good ones. And it's so fun to dance to. And it's just it really is a bop. But you've got your slow, sentimental numbers in there too. It's just really kind of a great mix of everything. And I know that I had actually only ever seen the movie once before they asked me to do this, and I was like, maybe I should see this.
Brush up a little bit.
Yeah, and I was listening to it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so fun. And it really is just a bop. And I was singing everything for a week.
Mm-hmm. It's a bunch of earworms. It's nothing but earworms.
Oh, I know. And it's also really nice for me because it's really repetitive. So it's we learn, the first 16 bars, and I'm like, okay, now we just got to do it 4 more times.
And rinse and repeat.
Yes, exactly. But no, super, super catchy. And I'm just we actually get to, we get to do the harmonies and the fun stuff. And I don't know, I'm just really excited about the show, especially it's Halloween time, which is one of my absolute favorite holidays.
It's the best.
Yes. And we get to be here at the red carpet, which is kind of just especially this particular space. I know y'all can't see it, but like everything's red and like vampy and like it's just kind of rocky vibes.
It fits the vibe perfectly.
I know, right?
Like right down to the shade of red.
Right. For real. Like it's the same, like the iconic like lip bite from Rocky. It's the same color of red. So it's a grand old time.
So the music for this, everyone's singing. It's not just like a pre-recorded track. Like everyone is singing the tunes.
Yes. So like we've actually had it before where we have worked with soundtracks, like a playback.
Okay.
But we also have as well as like live singing and everybody's mic'd up. We also have a live band.
No way.
Yes, we do. And we have actually our first rehearsal with them is tonight.
Oh my gosh.
I'm pretty excited. And we've got some really, really talented musicians who are working with us. And so, yeah, it'll be the real deal, which is,
This is like full blown.
I know, which is both terrifying and really exciting because, but it's also, everything has its pros and cons, but it's really cool because like, when you're dancing and singing at the same time, it is like full cardio workout.
Yeah.
It's full on. And so like to have a band that like can have your back if you need to maybe slow down a little bit.
Right.
Like,
You can play off of them.
Right.
Read the room, Ron.
Exactly. Please do. That'd be amazing if our drummer's name was like Ron or something. Ron, get it. That's really cool. And it's my first time working with a live band for a show. So I'm really excited.
So what does that look like on your end and preparing the band, preparing the singers? Like what's kind of your workflow here?
Gotcha. So I mostly work with the singers. We have a pretty experienced band. I think like 3 or 4 out of the 5 members who are in the band have actually already done the show previously. So yeah, which
that's
is
handy.
Yeah, exactly. So it's been very nice for me. Very hands off. And the keyboard player who hasn't been a part of it, we've had the opportunity to work together, and he's just absolutely fantastic. So these next couple of rehearsals is when we're kind of going to be working together and getting all like the timing down, because there's always like, those magical Broadway moments where like it's the big long suspended note at the end, and then it's like there's no like set cutoff. It's all just like the emotion of the moment, and so we're working on timing for that. But working with like the ensemble for vocal performances, it's almost like a little choir, which has been really fun. And not everybody reads music, so we've just been kind of doing everything like by ear and repetition and working together like that. And then also for like one rehearsal a week, I work with the leads.
Okay.
So then we can work more on like, specifically with Frank, and it's like, okay, which number do you want to work on this week? And like, is there something that's giving you trouble? And
what's the hang up? What do you need to work through? What kinks do we need to iron out here?
Exactly. And I'm very lucky that these people have some, you can hear them in the back.
Yeah. I really hope that's translating on the microphones because it's kind of fun.
I know, it's kind of cool. And so luckily, some of our cast has like, experience like working on shows like this already. So, they do a lot of the work themselves, which is kind of cool. And then I just get to come in and do like the cleanup, which is kind of fun. And just like, it's really just a treat for me. It's so nice.
So fun.
I really have like the cushiest job. Out of everyone, I really do. I just get to sit.
But it's also, it might be cushy, but it's also high pressure because if the music sucks,
I know.
everyone's going to leave here and go, what the hell was that?
Who's this Tory girl? Don't hire her again.
I don't think anyone's ever said that, by the way.
I could tell you some stories. Off air.
Off the record.
Off the record, yes, indeed. But yeah, so like it is kind of high pressure, but like we've definitely been putting the work in to like make sure that we're there on opening night, and I'm just really excited. And this is kind of the crunch time right now, where we're starting to put everything together. So like singing and choreography together, and the band in the space.
Yeah.
And I think they've just finished up like costuming and stuff like that.
Ooh, that's exciting.
I know. So all these, fabulous corsets and fishnets and all this fun stuff.
So much stuff. I love it.
I specifically saw a pair of like bright orange pumps that I know are going to be on stage. And I'm so excited.
Yes.
I'm so excited. So I'm just looking forward to showing everybody what we've been doing.
I'm excited to see it all come together.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your little segment here.
Yes, of course.
On the pod.
Anytime.
And I'm so proud of you and everything that you're doing. I love you. You're the best.
I say stop, but I mean, I don't.
But keep going. Keep going.
Never get sick of hearing it. Anyways, thank you so much. Come and see the show.
My name is Olivia Mosselter. I am from Cold Spring, Minnesota, and my role in the show is I play Janet Weiss.
Nice. Leading lady here.
Leading lady, yep.
And with the last name like Mosselter, I'm like, you got to be from the Cold Spring, Richmond area.
Yep. That is correct.
That
yes.
is a prominent name.
Yep.
So how did you first initially get involved with this group?
So my best friend, Madison Hofer, she did this show 2 years ago, and it was the first time I've ever even seen Rocky. And before that, I never have seen the movie. I didn't know about like the cult and like the whole audience or whatever. And then I saw it that year. So it was in 2022. And then I came last year again, and I told myself the next year that I was going to audition because the music is so fun. The vibe is so fun. The event is so like performing here just seems so cool. And so I wanted to kind of push something, like get out of my comfort zone a little bit because I'm used to doing like Disney shows and like classic musical theater, which is obviously so great, but also like to do something like this, it just, pushed me out of my comfort zone and just with a different theater company than I usually do. So that's one of the reasons why I auditioned.
What's kind of your background with theater? Was that something you started as a kid doing like the youth theater programs?
Yes, I didn't do any of the youth theater programs, but I actually started theater my freshman year of high school. I quit softball to join musical theater in the spring, and I got into the dancing a lot, and I just loved it ever since. And then now I have like built myself up to become, the kind of bigger, like starting to get more bigger roles, which was really awesome. But yeah, so I've been doing it for almost 8 years.
Oh my gosh, that's a long time.
Yes, I've been in many productions, and I usually stay in the Cold Spring area with Great Northern Theater Company. That's like my home, and I love those people there, but I wanted to get out and see and meet new people and
right.
that,
Well,
so.
and the beautiful thing about doing a production in St. Cloud when your home base is Cold Spring is it's 20 minutes away.
Yeah, exactly.
So like it's a totally different vibe and a totally different group of people, but it's not like you're uprooting your entire life to come and do this.
Right. No, yeah, it's super close to home still, and which is really awesome because we have so many talented actors in the Central Minnesota theater, or like in the Central Minnesota area, and so it's really awesome to work with talented people out here as well.
For sure. So what was the audition process like?
The audition process for me was I was originally going for Columbia in the show because I'm a tapper, and she has that one little tap sequence in Time Warp. So I was like, oh my God, I need to do this.
I can tap. I promise I can tap.
Yes,
I got this.
Yes. And that's like my love. I love tapping. So I was like, I wanted to audition. I wanted to get Columbia. And so I went in, I memorized her materials, I memorized her monologue, and then I got the callback list, and then I was put for Columbia and Janet, and I was like, oh, that's a surprise. Like, I didn't know anybody going into it, so I just didn't know who was going to audition or like who was kind of in the pool for that. And then my callbacks went really well, and then I got home, and Tori called me 15 minutes after I got home, and she said, we would love to offer you the part of Janet if you're willing to accept. And I said, oh my God, of course I am. Like, this is crazy. Like, it's Janet. She's so iconic.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how my audition process went.
That's really fun. So what's been kind of one of the biggest or hardest hurdles to overcome with just the practicing and memorizing all the lines and the singing? Like there's a lot going on. So what's kind of been the hardest part?
I think for me, the hardest part is definitely being confident in some of those sexual scenes, knowing that my friends and family are coming to the show, and I knew what I was getting myself into. I just didn't know what Danny's vision was, and she killed it. But it's hard to like put that yourself out in that vulnerable state and then perform just trying to be as confident as you can. So I think that's challenging, but also there's a lot of music and there's only 15 of us and we're singing in every song. And so that's also hard just because I have my songs, but I also have all of the other ensemble songs on top of that. So like I would say doing the music and just being comfortable and confident in my body would be probably the hardest.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot. Every rehearsal we're jam-packed with just new stuff. And now we just finished the show, which is really great. So now we can just start running and reviewing and getting everything down. But I would definitely just say, memorizing the music and, being confident in myself, I guess.
That's amazing. Well, I mean, they wouldn't have cast you if they didn't see that spark inside of you, know that you could play the role to its absolute perfection.
Yes.
To the best of your ability.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
These people obviously know what they're doing. So I'm excited to see you excel in the role as Janet.
Oh, thank you so much. And I'm excited for you to come see our show.
Opening night, first show. I'm going to be there.
Oh, really? Are you going to the 7 o'clock one?
I'm going to the 7 o'clock one.
Nice.
Well, I'm going with my parents. They're like, we don't want to go to the late one.
Oh, yep. That makes sense.
I'm like, that's fair.
That makes sense.
They have an hour drive home. I don't.
Yep. All of my friends are actually going to be in a show the same weekend that I perform. They're also performing for Waitress, and it's another theater company in St. Cloud. So they're literally going to be going to their last dress rehearsal, and then they're zooming their butts here at 10 to make the 10 o'clock show to come and see me, because that's the only night they could. So that is really special too. That, like, I don't know, I just feel like the support system is so great to have as well.
Yeah, for sure. What's been like your favorite moment so far from all the rehearsals? Is there like a funny moment? Because I was in theater, like one act play in high school, and there was always like those little moments that stood out in my mind.
Yes, I definitely think working with my scene partner, Phil, who plays my Brad, he is just, the first day I met him, I was like, oh my God, who is this? Is he going to really succeed at this? Like, I was a little nervous because he was shy. He didn't really talk at callbacks or auditions. And so I was definitely more on edge, but after getting to know him, he's just such like a theater nerd, and he loves what he's doing, and he gets so into it, and we just have the best banter ever, which is really great because it helps with our chemistry on stage. But I would say we definitely have a lot of funny moments where he's just like, "Shut the fuck up, Janet," and I'm just like, "You asshole, Brad," and it's just like, I don't know, we just have a lot of great banter, which is really great. Or with the guy who's playing Frankenfurter, Gabe, we just banter back and forth, and he kills his role so much. And I would say those are some funnier moments. But I think my most favorite moment for rehearsal so far was learning my song, because it's another iconic song, and it's my song, so it's super fun. It was super fun. Yes, it's my moment, and it was super fun to learn and just to be able to sing and have the support of my cast members cheering me on as I'm doing it and learning it, which was really great. So,
well, I'm excited to see this all come to life.
Me too. We're starting with the band tonight, so it should be. We're on like full swing right ahead. So
full steam ahead. I'm excited. Well, thank you for letting me pull you away from practice for a little bit for this.
Well, thanks for having me. It was great.
Hello, my name is Gabriel Ryland. I live here in St. Cloud. I am Frankenfurter in this year's production of Rocky Horror Show.
That is a huge role to be in.
Yeah, I do things.
I do things. I love it. Let's start with what your theater background is. Is this something that's totally new to you? Have you been doing this your whole life?
I've been doing this basically my whole life. Yeah, I've been doing community theater since I was in middle school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Starting in middle school is bold. I started in high school. I was way too shy to be on stage in middle school. I probably would have cried. So you're doing Rocky Horror this year. What's kind of some of the other shows that you've done previously?
Let's see. In this company here, I did Rocky Horror last year, first of all. That one, I was Dr. Scott, and I love Dr. Scott a lot. I would not be disappointed doing him again. I was in American Idiot, favorite son in that one. Just had a solo there. Recently, down in the Little Theatre, New London, I was in Clown Bar. They did 3 plays of Clown Bar 2, and Clown Bar Christmas, and I was Dusty in all of those, which was very fun. Yeah, before that, I did a lot of community theater down in Wilmer, down at the Barn Theater. Then I moved up here to St. Cloud, where I started doing stuff with these lovely folks.
Wonderful. So what was the audition process like, especially compared to being in the show last year? Like, did you go into this year knowing, oh, I kind of want the same role? Do I want to challenge myself and do something different?
Let's see. The audition process here this year it was pretty loose. They kind of let me just do whatever pieces that I wanted. They wanted me to do a personal selection as well as a selection from a thing that they sent out. I wanted to go for Frank. After being in it last year, I was like, you know what? That's what I want to do. So I've been thinking about this for pretty much a whole year now.
Yeah, you kind of had a firsthand look at like everything, the inner workings of the show, and you kind of had that privilege of going, oh, well, I think I could probably do that. I could probably pull that off.
Absolutely, yeah.
So what has like rehearsal and all that and preparation for the show looked like for you, in addition to just like being here with the cast and working on choreography and that sort of stuff? What are you doing in the off time to prepare yourself for this?
Well, I mean, first of all, rehearsals are great with these folks. They're all so fun, so friendly. You know, I love the lot of them. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here doing all this. But, you know, I guess in my off time, when I'm home alone, I listen to the soundtrack. I've pretty much been listening to the soundtrack back to forth every day now, just trying to get the familiarity in my head. I practice the lines a lot in my head. You know, you could ask my girlfriend. Sometimes she's like, what the hell is going on? As we're just like walking through the grocery store, I'm like thinking maybe I should do a line this way. And then she sees it in my face. Yeah.
So being in this role, what's kind of, because everyone's going to be, especially people who haven't seen this production before, like I'm going into this with a fresh set of eyes. I haven't seen the stage production of this before. I've only seen the movie. So my head's going, Tim Curry, like that's a hard thing to like try to emulate on stage. Is the production here very similar to the movie, or are you guys just kind of putting your own spin on all the characters?
There are things that we're taking from the movie, but there's a lot of things that we're making our own.
Okay.
The stage play is a little different from the movie, but not really all that much. As far as what I'm going for, there are certain Tim Curryisms that I like. I'm kind of picking that apart, but there's a lot that I'm putting of myself into it, because it's a role you can put a lot of yourself into, and that's probably what's most surprising about it, because Tim Curry gives off an intimidating performance. So you think, oh, geez, I can't live it up. Well, you don't have to. You just put yourself into it, and it'll be loads of fun.
That's awesome. So what does costuming look like? Because there's some pretty eccentric costumes that go along with your character.
Oh, yeah.
So are you guys kind of like recreating like movie specific, or are you, again, putting your own flavor on that?
Costume at this point isn't fully completed, but there are things that I've tried on. So there's a few different outfits that we've done, but I'm not sure what's going to go where. There are some things that look pretty similar to the movie thing, because you know, they're very iconic. People come with an expectation here. So like, you know, if I don't prance on that stage with fishnets and stuff like that, people are going to be disappointed. So yeah, there's going to be fishnets, there'll be heels, you know, all that jazz.
The big pearl necklace.
Big pearl necklace. We have the big pearl necklace. Yes. Yeah.
I'm so excited to see this. So what's been kind of some of your favorite moments from rehearsal? Because I know that like spending all these hours with these people, you form a bond and you have all these like little inside jokes. So like what's kind of been some of your favorite moments from rehearsal?
Let's see, what are my favorite moments from rehearsal? Ooh, I don't know. Because, you know, every day is a brand new adventure. I think a lot of my favorite moments are when I have this image of my head of how the scene's going to go, because, you know, I've been thinking about it for a lot, and I read the script and I think about it a lot. But then when we go actually do it, I just kind of throw it all out and then do something completely new that works, that gels with this crowd. They're all bringing their own character to it.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy rehearsal night to come and sit with me for 10 minutes and chat about the show. I'm so excited to see it myself, and I just getting to know the handful of you I have so far. You guys are going to knock it out of the park.
All righty, thank you.
My name is Phil Jansen. I'm from Ascove, Minnesota, and my role in this show is Brad Majors.
Wow, big role.
Yeah,
Kind of an important one.
yeah, no kidding.
So, what is your theater background? Is this something that you're new to or you've been doing for a while?
So I did theater all throughout middle school and high school. My school, East Central Finlayson, had a very strong theater department.
Okay.
And we did a lot of like one-act competitions as well as musicals. There were 3 plays a year, and
You guys did 3 a year?
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
impressive.
Ambitious, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like a total theater geek all through high school, pretty much. But then I went to college and then was focusing on different things, and so it's been about 7 or so, 8 years almost. So, and I don't know, I wanted to reconnect with acting and singing and all that great stuff because I kind of forgot about it for a while. So,
When you forget how fun it is.
yeah.
Because my school just did one act plays in the winter. And like the bond you create with the people that you're doing productions with is next level. And then when you don't do it for a while, you forget how awesome it is to connect with people on that level, to like sing and dance and create something together. And it's truly magical.
Yeah, I would agree with all of that, yeah. It's kind of exhilarating and inspiring just to be in that group setting with people, period.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that sort of community isn't found in a lot of other places. So.
No, we've definitely gotten away from it, especially as a society. So what was your audition process like for this production? Did you have a certain role in mind that you were going for and then you ended up with Brad, or what was kind of that like?
I knew exactly what I was getting into because a friend of mine had recommended that I audition who was involved with this company.
Okay.
So I wanted to get Brad. I didn't know much about the play or even like the movie or anything, but
Oh, really?
I was told I would be really good Brad, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give my best shot just for this role and see whatever role I get. So I came in, I auditioned with guitar. There's kind of a guitar song I know really well. It's kind of like a campfire song, or
Okay.
at least I consider it that. It's kind of dorky, but I don't know a lot of songs on guitar that well, but I just know that one pretty much by heart, so I thought it would be a good audition song. And then I read the line for the narrator, and I sung a little part of Brad's. It's near the end of the show, but just a little excerpt.
And next thing you know, they're calling you going, "You're Brad."
Yeah.
That's
I'm
awesome.
still a little bit in shock. Like, it doesn't feel quite real, but I'm also very, very excited. So
Yeah. Well, so far, the people that I've talked to here, it sounds like you got a great cast to be working with. You got a great Janet to be playing alongside of. So,
she's been so supportive, yeah, even though I'm an asshole.
you're wearing an Adventure Time, sure. You can't be that much of an asshole.
I'm trying to get in character.
So, with doing a production like this with a live band, is that something that you've done before? Or was like all the production you did in middle school and high school, was that like to a backing track? What's kind of your background with working with a band?
So in school, there was like a little mini orchestra for most of the musicals. Otherwise, they just played the music from the sound system for the other plays.
Okay.
But a live band, like a band, not really.
Okay. So, this is a new experience.
Yeah, for sure.
And I heard that tonight is night one with the band. So,
Yep, this is the first night with the band.
giving it a go.
Because we've been practicing with like a lot of karaoke tracks and different things.
Okay.
But some of those have like pauses that aren't going to be in it.
Right,
So
yeah.
it'll be a bit of an adjustment, but
Yeah.
it'll be good to get our feet wet with it.
Yeah. How's learning all the choreography been for you? Is that something you pick up easily?
I do not pick it up easily, but the song we just learned, I'm spacing on it right now, but it had some really fun choreography. It's a lot of fun. It takes a little extra work for me, but I'm also excited to get it down.
You're the man for the job. They picked you, so I'm sure you'll be just fine at it, and you'll probably excel and blow everyone's pants off. So, what's been kind of your favorite moment so far from rehearsals? Is there like a moment where like the show just kind of clicked for everyone yet, or?
Maybe I'm still trying to find that moment. I'm the most excited to be working in this space, to really get the feel for it and just start running and getting the repetitions. And but I do think probably the floor show is kind of my time to shine a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though it's very short-lived, but I think it packs a punch. So getting to wear a corset and all that and high heels, so I'm pretty excited for that.
I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? Everybody loves playing dress up. It's amazing. Well, I'm super excited to see you as Brad in the show. I'll be here opening night, and I'm just excited to see everything come together because you guys just seem like such a wonderful group of people bringing this piece of art to central Minnesota, and I'm just so excited.
I'm glad. And I was curious, Abby, do you have any background in theater or?
I did one act, so just acting. Tori can attest to this. I should not be allowed to sing. I do not have any sort of vocal ability other than just talking into a microphone. But I love theater. I love dancing too. I was a dancer for 15 years, and I did burlesque here in the St. Cloud area when there was a local burlesque troupe. So
That's amazing.
yeah. There's just something special about being on stage with a group of people working towards the same goal.
Yeah, and that's interesting because I feel most confident in the singing.
You got a set of pipes on you.
There's a couple of high notes that have taken some work to try to get there, but overall I think I have a pretty strong voice. That's what I feel the most just intrinsically rewarded by because I've always loved to do music. I play multiple instruments. So I've been doing that a lot more, but I'd kind of been singing a little bit less or just kind of singing for myself and not in front of people. So I'm excited to sing in front of an audience. That's really special.
Yeah, that all changes mid-October.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to hear you sing, and I'm excited to see you put on a show.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for letting me pull you away from practice for a little bit.
No problem.
My name's Matthew. I'm originally from Texas, and I play Eddie.
How did you get to Minnesota from Texas?
I have family in the Lake Alexandria area.
Okay.
And I moved up here about almost 2 years ago to come help out more.
Okay, cool. What part of Texas?
I'm from San Antonio.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, happy to have you here. I've been asking everyone kind of what their background is in theater. Is this something that's new to you? Is it something you've been doing your whole life?
I started theater in high school, and then I actually briefly went to college for it, and then have just been doing theater since then.
Okay. You went to college for it?
Yeah, for a little bit.
Wow. What was going to be your major?
Bachelor's of Fine Arts in theater.
Okay.
Or in acting.
In acting. Wow. Sweet. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a deep background. And it's one of those things where, yes, you can go to college for it, but I'm a big fan of on-the-job training.
That's why I dropped out of college.
You're talking to someone who has a degree in radio broadcasting. It's borderline fake. So what was the audition process like for this show? Is this something that you've done in the past, or are you new to it this year?
I did Rocky with them last year as well,
Okay.
actually. And it was just, I wait very excitedly for them to post the link to auditions, and then I think I saw it within like the first 12 minutes this year.
So you're like sitting there going, refresh.
Because they changed the profile pictures, and I was like, oh, they're going to post it soon.
Ooh.
And I had just been watching for like 2 or 3 days, waiting for them to post it, and then immediately signed me, my friend up, and another friend. And we all signed up for it, and then we just come in, audition, have fun with it.
Amazing.
And callbacks are usually within like 3 days.
Oh, wow. They move quick around here.
Yeah. They like to just get you your answer fast, so you know if you have time to audition for the next thing.
Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Much appreciated. So what was your role with it last year?
I was a Phantom, and I was Eddie's understudy.
Okay.
And Brad's understudy as well. I'm
Okay.
Brad's understudy this year, too.
Okay. So you're like overly prepared almost for this then.
Kind of.
I mean, you might not feel that way, but you
I know the show pretty well.
you know the show. You know what to expect.
Yeah.
So
I know what the audience is going to yell at us. Like, I got it.
no surprises. Well, maybe some, but like you're prepared
There's
for
always
the
something new.
surprises.
The
Yeah.
audience always has something new to yell at you.
Yeah. So with being Eddie, did you like know going in this year, like this is what I want with being the understudy last year? I'm prepared for this.
I auditioned for Columbia.
Really?
Yeah, I auditioned for Columbia, but I was like, I'm okay with whatever role you see me as, because I knew Danny had like an incredible idea for this show, and I was like, whatever it takes for me to be in this show with you directing it, I will take whatever role. So I had auditioned for Columbia, got called back for Brad and Eddie, and then ended up as Eddie's.
Eddie, and then Brad's understudy.
Okay. I mean, Columbia is such a fun role. So, like, I totally get it.
She's so fun.
I totally get it. That's so fun. Okay. So, what has been, like, the rehearsals looking like so far this year? Like, are you guys feeling really good, really confident? I know that tonight's the first night with the live band.
Yeah. I think this is actually, like, we're getting things done real fast. Like, we're in a really good spot for this. We're starting full runs next week.
Wow.
Which, like, that's pretty, for the short, like, times period that we have to work with each other, that's fantastic. Like, we finished learning everything for the show yesterday, live band today, starting runs next week.
Oh my gosh. What does rehearsal look like in a given week for you guys? Is it like every night? Is it a few nights?
We do it 3 nights a week. It's
Okay.
usually music one night, choreography the next night, and then choreography or just wherever we need to fit something in.
Okay.
The third night. Usually it's just finishing whatever song we started earlier in the week, and then more if we've got time for more. And
Okay.
then blocking as well.
Right. Yeah. Blocking is huge. Very important.
Yeah. Well, it's a song heavy show, so we got a lot of choreography going.
Yeah.
Once we hit the second act, there's like next to no talking, and it's just song, 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 song.
Belt it.
Yeah.
So what's kind of your strong suit? Are you more of the dancer, the actor, the singer? What's kind of your lane?
I think I'm better with the acting. Creating characters is my favorite part of, and making the character mine is my favorite part of it. So I can do the other things, but I think I'm best with the acting as well.
Was just talking to the person who played Frankenfurter. For the podcast listeners, I truly don't know what order everything's happening in right now. So if you're lost, just keep listening, or if you know what's going on, good for you. What has been like your approach to making this character all your own and putting your own flavor on it?
I watch a lot of other people play the same role because people do Rocky all the time. And I just find the little things that they do that I really like. And I'm like, that's mine. I'm going to take that too.
You're coming home with me.
Exactly. I'm like, this is going in my bag. This is going in my bag. And I find all of that, and then I figure out what needs to be added so all those things can apply to the same person. Because, like, yeah, it's a fun little goofy campy show, but your character doesn't know that.
Right.
Like, Eddie doesn't know he's in a show. He's here.
They're not self-aware.
No, not in the slightest. Eddie is here to have fun, ruin Frank's party, and go. And that's all
Here
he
for a
does.
good time, not a long time.
Really not here for a long time, but it's fun when I'm on stage.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. Yeah, just observing what everyone else is doing. Because like you said, a lot of people do this production. And so there is a lot to pick from, which is really nice.
And, like, this is a role that my best friend played last year. And he's my understudy this year. And it's like, what did I like from his that I can steal for mine?
Right.
And that's the part I've been having the most fun with, because every so often he's like, wait, did I do that? Or is that a you thing?
Are we the same person? That is so nice to have your best friend in your corner for that.
Yeah.
Because, like, I know how me and my best friend are, and we have that too. It's like, is that my shirt or your shirt? Do we own that together?
Yeah, that's 100% what we're like.
I love it. So I've been asking people, like, what's been your favorite standout moment so far from rehearsals? Because working with a cast of people, you're in the same space all the time and you're feeding off of each other. What's been that moment for you?
So whenever we have to have our understudies step in just to, like, sing part of it or whatever, is so fun for me because we don't get to hear them a lot. So, like, earlier this week, our Magenta stepped in to sing the Usherettes part in Science Fiction Reprise. And the way everybody's just immediately hyping her up, because we know where the pauses in the music are. So because I recorded it that night, because I record it so I can hear it. And I can just hear all of us hyping her up throughout the entire song. And we don't just do that for the understudies, but we are constantly just hyping each other up the whole time and, like, telling each other, hey, I loved what you did right there. That's fantastic. And just really, because not all of us do theater all the time. I know our Rocky, this is his first show in 10 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it's my favorite part of all of this is watching us encourage each other, because that's how we get each other to come back for more shows.
Right. And you build that community.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about theater is, like, so supportive, and you guys are all here working towards the same goal.
Yeah.
But I watch a lot of TikToks, and I know it can be toxic. So I'm so glad to hear that you guys are having such a good time with each other and really supporting each other and making this vision come to life.
Yeah.
Is there any like key moment in the show that you want the audience to be aware of? Like, watch for this.
Frank's entrance for Sweet Transvestite, I think, is my favorite way that I have ever seen it done. And I'm so excited to hear the audience's reactions to that because I think it's going to be so cool.
Okay. I love it. Nice little nugget there. Well, I'll be excited to see it on opening night.
Nice.
Thank you so much for taking time out of practice to come talk with me.
Thank you.
I'm Travis. I've been in St. Cloud for the last 13 years, and I am Rocky.
You are Rocky.
I'm the guy.
You are the guy that everyone's here to see.
Yep, my name's on it.
So I heard that this is your first show in a few years.
Quite a few, few.
So what is your background with theater?
Nothing since high school. I was in Footloose,
Okay.
but outside of that musical, I was in speech. I was in duo there. And then I was also in a one-act play,
Okay.
which was true improv. So
You guys did an improv one
like,
act?
Yes, like improv.
Where did you go to school?
Belgrade?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm impressed that you guys did improv one act.
Yeah, a lot of people were. That's the thing, too. Everybody else's improv was scripted. Ours was improv. Wow. So, yeah.
You guys are up there doing some Second City shit.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
I love it. So you've taken a break from theater. What made you come back for this production?
Wanted to throw myself out there. Kind of had a big life change. And I know Danny, director, from work. And I watched it the past couple of years. Really piqued my interest. And I knew I wanted to be a part of it, so I gave it a shot.
That's amazing. Did you come into auditions thinking, I want to be Rocky? Or
Yes.
You
Yes.
came in sight set on that role?
I mean, if you really want to know, I actually took like vocal lessons like months in advance.
Really?
Because it had been years, since I've done anything, and I don't sing. Like I'm a car singer, I'm a shower singer. Like I don't sing in front of people. So just to really kind of hone in on that, I took some lessons for a little while, build the confidence.
Yeah.
And then, when it came time for it and they asked me which role I wanted to do, I said Rocky. I also said, like, ensemble as, like, a backup, but Rocky.
You had your sights set on what you wanted.
Yep.
And then you went and got it.
Yep.
That's
go-getter.
amazing. And I love that you put in the work beforehand, too, like knowing that this was something you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like, there's something to be said for that work ethic, which I
Well,
strongly
thank you.
admire as a
Yeah.
workaholic. Like,
Right.
proud of you. So auditions come and go. You find out that you're Rocky. What is kind of your next step? Are you taking more vocal lessons or are you just diving straight into the role?
Yeah, so a little bit of both. The vocal lessons are only once a week, and I just kept that up for the first, month
Okay.
or so. But then after that, I had to become more dedicated to the group and the role, and I kind of got a grip on, the music, the songs, and Tori, amazing vocal coach. Like, who I had, she was great, but Tori's been places, and yeah, she knows what she's doing. So I really trusted her and kind of fell into her. So yeah.
You're talking to Tori's number one fangirl. Like,
Yeah, I heard you guys have a little bit of history.
Oh,
Grew up
a
together,
little bit.
something
Yeah,
like
grew
that.
up together, cut some demos together on a really
Okay.
crappy old laptop, played doubles tennis together, won a couple tournaments.
Okay, no big deal,
yeah,
right?
so no big deal. But yeah, super fan of Tori. She's fantastic at what she does. I can't wait to see how everything comes together with this whole cast.
We
'cause
sound amazing.
You guys, just from talking with you guys, I know that this is going to be such a dynamic show.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm so excited to see it.
Always is, yeah.
So you have seen the production in the past, and was that the one here at the red carpet?
Yep,
Okay.
last couple of years, yep.
What was like the moment when you're sitting and watching it in the crowd where you went, I need to be out there. I need to do that. Was that just sitting there, the vibe?
Yeah. I mean, it was the overall vibe. It was, the spotlight has also kind of fascinated me. Before theater, I was like in sports, so just
Okay.
being a part of a team was also really cool, and I just didn't have that in my life. But one of the parts was throwing the hot dogs like at the cast. Oh my god, that comment! I'm like, okay, this is fun, this is different, and like all the call outs
Yeah.
during the show. Being in Footloose and that being my only history from before, there wasn't any of that. So this was just fun,
Yeah, for sure. It's an interactive show where you don't just come and watch it and sit quietly with your hands in your lap.
No, you are part of it. It is immersive.
Yeah, I know. I'm bringing my parents to it, and they're so excited. Like, the second I found out this was happening, we started planning our outfits. So
Yeah, that's another kind of a hurdle. I got a lot of my family coming. My parents, my brother, and then I got my grandparents, set of aunt and uncle, and then another aunt and cousin, I think. are
Okay.
coming. So yeah.
how
Lot
are
of
you feeling
support.
about that with like costuming?
Yeah.
Is
well,
that
I mean, well, as
part
far
of the
as-
hurdle,
I mean,
or-
as far as costuming goes, like that's all fine. You know,
Yeah.
they've raised me.
Yeah.
They know what I'm about. But it's this a couple certain scenes where it gets a little more expressive, a little more vulgar.
Yeah.
In a sense, you know that
Adult themed?
Adult, yeah. Well, and I already I warned each of them like, hey, like it's an adult show. It's a comedy, but it's an
Right.
adult show. So just so you're aware. And I'm like, oh, okay.
And also, like, a quick Google of the movie itself will explain, like, they should know what they're getting into.
And like they've all told me too, like I don't know if I should look into it, if I should watch it, or if I should just go in there not knowing anything. And I'm like, well, there's pros to both.
Yeah.
You know, like you have an idea beforehand, but also that firsthand experience is really nothing that beats that, in my opinion.
Right, the fresh eyes on it.
The fresh eyes,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. What's been kind of your favorite moment from rehearsals so far? Is there like a standout moment where you had a fun...
I mean, honestly, it's for me, it's the singing bit. We sounded really good together as a group. Just when we were going over, I can't even think of it right now. Not the ensemble parts, but just big group scenes. I mean, that's really all it is. Of course, my scenes always are running through my mind constantly because I want to crush it. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't think there really is a peak moment. I think for me, it's more getting to know everybody and the process of that throughout the weeks.
Yeah.
You know, that's been really cool.
Especially coming in with being new to the cast this year, because there are a couple of repeat people from what we've had on the podcast so far, and just building those relationships, building that community, and dipping your toe back into the water of theater.
Yeah. Well, and theater's full of a bunch of creatives.
Yeah.
And like these creative people are so interesting. Like I've been immersed in the sports world and it's all stats. It's pretty boring, you know. But theater people, they want to get to know you, and I appreciate that the most.
On a deeper level.
Yes.
It's not just hi.
Hey, what'd you do over the weekend?
Yeah,
Like,
it was
okay.
sunny and 80 today. Oh my gosh,
Yeah, right.
crazy.
No, it's more how are you?
Yeah, it's how
know?
are you?
Exactly.
Let me read your aura.
It's
Which
giving.
is my kind of people. I love it.
Yes.
Well, I am so excited to see the show. What is a moment that you want the crowd to be like anticipate? Like what should they look for? What's a special moment?
Special moment. I mean, my moment. Not to be too selfish or anything.
No, be selfish. Be selfish.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah. When I come out there, it's a bit different of a song, but it's a big one, and you know, I'm showing a lot of skin, and I'm proud of it. You know, I mean, I've been trying to work on myself, this and that, getting ready for it and everything. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the bigger moment that I'm looking forward to. That, and there's towards the end too. There's another scene that I'm looking forward to.
Okay.
I don't want to say too much, but yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm excited. Show that skin.
Yeah, girl.
Thank you so much for letting me pull you away for a little bit for this.
Of course.
My name is Danny Meyer. I'm originally from Sauk Rapids, but I've been in central Minnesota my whole life. I am the director and choreographer of this year's show.
Oh my gosh, so exciting.
I know, it's exciting for me too.
Okay, before we get into the show, I just had a podcast interview. This won't air by the time that this one's airing, but being from Sauk Rapids, have you ever heard it referred to as the Dirty Sauk?
I've never heard that, but I have heard St. Cloud get called Dirty Cloud before.
Okay.
By a woman in the metro, and I was like super offended.
Because I was doing an interview, they're like, I'm from the Dirty Sock. And I'm like, I've never heard that.
I've never heard that.
I'm like, do I like that? I think I like that. But like, not for the reason I should like it.
That's fair.
Okay, totally sidetrack. So your role with the show is choreographer, director. What is your background in theater?
Well, I started in 5th grade. I did a community theater production out in St. Joe. Is Trobeck's Event Center once was the Lighthouse Dinner Theater. And I did a production of The Christmas Carol out there, and ever since I had a dance background, and I started to kind of transition from my classical training in dance to doing more like Broadway style, theater style dancing, and that's really kind of how that transitioned. And I love the individuality of theater dancing versus like regimented like ballet or dance line or those types of things.
Yeah, as someone who did Just for Kicks for 15 years and then taught for a year, there is a different style between theater dancing and that sort of like studio style.
Yeah, I'm a JFK for life.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. I'm actually, tidbit for podcast listeners, I'm actually making a song for a Just for Kicks competition routine this year. Ooh.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
I know, crazy. Again, back on topic.
I love it.
So how did you end up working with this group of people on this production?
Yeah, actually, one of my fellow Sauk Rapids friends, well, actually, a lot of our, the roots of our company started in Sauk Rapids. So Sean Donahue, who owns our company, and then Amy Josephs, who was one of the founding members, reached out to me. And I had done Rocky Horror in St. Cloud for years prior to Divergent Stars picking it up. We were doing it through another theater company in town that no longer exists. So I was really getting into Rocky Horror and really loved the show, and it's a kind of a staple Halloween season in St. Cloud. So when they said, hey, we're starting a new theater company, you should come be a part of it. I auditioned, and I was actually Dr. Scott my first year with Divergent Stars. I was other roles in the past. It was really exciting then to transition into being production staff, and I got to put my choreography skills to work, so that was really cool.
That's amazing. So do you have, like, being a part of this production previously, is there like a favorite role that you had? Like, was there a year that you're like, oh God, I love this?
As a dancer, I got to play Columbia my first year, so I was really lucky in that they used my dance abilities in a role in a show that was really, really fun, that she's a highlighted dancer specifically, and that was so cool for me, and that was my first Rocky Horror, was to be Columbia, so that will always be super close in my heart. Yeah.
That's amazing. So what does your kind of week-to-week, day-to-day look like as the director and being in that role and leading these people to create an amazing production?
Yeah, it's a lot of work outside of rehearsal time. I have been thinking about my themes for the show for months and months and months prior to actually starting rehearsals. So I was able to do a little bit of writing choreography beforehand, so it made my week to week a little bit lighter, which was great. This actually week to week has gone so smoothly, where I've had stuff prepped really, ahead of time, and I get to write, during rehearsals too, which is really great when I'm not being used. When we're doing vocal stuff, then I get to do a lot of like my blocking or my choreography writing, and I get to see the actors right in front of me too, which is really great. And I'm like, I love the way their posture is here, so can I write that into the show? So I get to like view them while they're at rehearsal doing other things, and then I get to bring that around and do that during my time with them.
That's amazing.
So that was super cool for me.
Have you directed previously, or is this the first time?
I have. I actually have directed 2 other productions. The only other 2 that I've directed ever have been with Divergent Stars, and the first one was Reefer Madness a couple years ago, and that was super fun. That's a super special show as well. That's should be shown more often for its title, I think. Yes. People are scared of it, but it's so funny and it's so satirical. It's based off of the 1934 movie, and they turned it into a satire show. But I also directed Rent last spring, and that was awesome. That was super special too.
It's incredible. Is this like something that you see yourself like from here on out, you're in a director role, or like would you be fine going back and just being a cast member for something here and there?
That's so funny you say that. I've been itching to be on stage. I've actually got to perform very small roles in other Central Minnesota theater productions where they needed someone to fill a role, and I was able to step in, but I haven't really had the full audition process in a really long time. So I'm really excited to do that. Hopefully this spring I'll get to audition for a show that we have not yet announced. But
ooh,
TBD.
Secrets. Follow them on social media so you know what's going on. Hint, hint. That's incredible. So what has this cast specifically been like to work with? Like, is it, I know there's a couple of people returning from previous versions of the show. I know there's some people who've taken some time off and they're just getting back into theater. What's kind of that dynamic been like?
We were really lucky to have such a high talent pool of people to choose from at auditions. It made the audition process really difficult, and the selection process really difficult. These folks I knew from day one were going to behave as professionals, which is super cool. Everyone shows up, they want to do a good job. they're really committed to everything. When I give them a haywire idea, they're not like, I don't think so. They really jump into it, like, both feet, and they've all been really willing to work with me, and we're actually like ahead of schedule, which is like unheard of for community theater. So I'm gonna knock on this wood right here just to not jinx myself. But
well, the cast members that I've interviewed on the podcast so far, they've all seemed really confident with where you guys are sitting right now, with it being 2.5-ish weeks until the first show, and there's a sense of calm. There's a sense of confidence that they're prepared and ready and want to put on an amazing production.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's even when I'm not at rehearsal or before rehearsal, before I get there, they're already running choreography, they're running scenes, they're helping each other. So if they're not necessarily in the scene and they're watching their co-stars rehearse, they're saying, oh, you move this way, remember? And it's just amazing how everybody knows the show, so like in and out. People's understudies have been helping them. It's been such a team effort, and it's been so cool to see, even when they don't know that I'm watching, and it's super cool.
That's incredible. And tonight's first rehearsal with the live band.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff. We love the band.
Yeah. I'm super excited to see the show myself. What is the moment that you think the audience should be like looking for? Like, what's a standout moment for you?
I think Janet and Rocky's number, Touch It Touch Me, is really exceptional. Olivia and Travis they've got some amazing chemistry, and they both like show up to do their job, and they like knock it out of the park. They're so believable. And also when our Frankenfurter enters the stage for the first time, is pretty amazing. We've got some cool secrets and surprises for the audience.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for letting me invade your guys' space and invade your practice for an evening. I know you're busy people and you got a lot to do, so I appreciate you letting me come and set up here.
Of course. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for checking out another episode of the Small Town Tourist podcast. If you're looking for more content from the Small Town Tourist, you can follow me at the Small Town Tourist on Instagram and on Facebook. And you can check out the blog, thesmalltowntourist.com. If you're looking for tickets for the Rocky Horror Show, you're not going to want to miss it. They are down in the show notes below. Just click that link, easy to get to. Be sure you check out this production. There's a lot of work being put into it, and you're going to love it. I'll catch you next week.